Hi, and welcome to this 30-minute, more like 35-minute beginner's yin yoga class. Today what you are going to need is at least maybe a block, maybe two, and a bolster of any size if you want. And we'll get started. So we're going to be moving into a heart bench, and you can do this a couple different ways. If you have the bolster, you can bring it to the back, laying overneath, extending the arms, extending the legs. You can also bring it sideways, allowing the chest to rise up as you drop the shoulders and the neck towards the floor. Or you can use your blocks to set up by placing one nice and high, one nice and long. As you bring the block between the shoulder blades, extending back, and letting the head rest on the higher block. Take either variation that you want. I'm going to stay here with the blocks so I can actually bring the bolsters underneath my knees. Give the legs a little bit of support. And as you nestle into this pose, start to take some deep breaths. Work on relaxing the face, softening through the jaw. Steady breaths in and steady breaths out. Start to take your little adjustments, little shifts so you can get more comfortable. As we work through each of our poses, we want to try to invite in the stillness. And allowing that stillness to help us go a little bit deeper into the pose. We'll go deeper by making little adjustments and shifts. Sometimes that means adding a prop. Sometimes that means removing a prop. But through each pose, we're working towards that new edge. And what that edge is a fine line, a balance between discomfort and comfort, effort and ease. Where can we feel relaxed in the pose while we're putting work into it? For instance, my edge is the deeper bend through the chest and the back, using the blocks as my support, but softening through the legs by bringing the bolster under the knees. We're going to be a couple more minutes here. So allow the neck and head to relax. Release control over the mind. And just let all thoughts come in and wander. The beautiful thing about a yin practice is that it really allows our mind to expand, to work through any issues we have, any problems throughout the day, or even just to meditate on something that made us feel good. Try to keep the breath steady. Slowly work the awareness to the center of the chest. Observe that lifting motion as the chest is pointed high to the sky. Start to internalize the awareness there. Maybe coming into the feeling of the heartbeat. or as you focus on that heart space, it may feel good to remember something of gratitude. A memory where you feel so grateful, so happy and alive. And let that memory wash over you. Take a nice deep inhale, letting it go. We're going to counter this by coming on to our backs. So in my case, I'm going to remove the bolster from underneath my legs. Use the core to lift the torso up. Or maybe if it feels good, you can roll over to one side. And coming in to our corpse position, letting the spine go nice and long. We're moving into supine twist. So you'll bring the right knee into the chest. Pull that shin in nice and tight first. You can either bring the left arm out like a goalpost or extend it nice and high. But on the exhale, we're going to lift and twist, bringing that shin across us. Now use your block and your bolster here for support. I'm going to bring the bolster underneath my entire leg, working that ground towards me, allowing my hips to stack, and bringing the right arm behind me with the gaze, letting gravity take that shoulder into the mat. While you're in your twist, it may feel good to take a deeper exhale, allowing that longer exhalation to help guide you into a deeper version of the twist. Work on relaxing that left leg. Maybe begin to notice where you're tightening, where you're holding in the muscles, and start softening it down. At any point you want to take this twist deeper, it may feel good to remove your bolster, maybe just moving it slightly, or removing the bolster or the blocks completely, letting that twist go a little bit deeper. Working on softening through the face and the extended leg. See how you want to play with the arm position, whether you like that tricep up by the ear, that arm out like a goalpost, or extended nice and wide. Have a few more minutes on this side. That twist go a little bit deeper, or towards that edge. Getting ready to move to the other side. We first take a deep inhale, letting it go. Coming onto the back. Bring those knees to the sky so you can straighten out the spine. Take a moment here to make any adjustments. We give a little windshield wiper from side to side to help release any tension that was built up in the hips. Work on moving your props to the other side of the body. And then this time extending the right leg long as you pull the left shin into the chest. Remember, you can bring the arm up overhead, nice and wide, or like a gold pose as we lift and stack that hip, twisting to the right side, and working that gaze over to the left. Now this is a little bit harder for me to twist this way, so I'm going to change my propping by bringing a block on top of my bolster and putting it underneath the knee. As you start to bring balance to the body, you will really start to notice the imbalances. And what that means is which side's a little bit easier to get into the pose, which side takes a little bit more work and effort. And as you start to understand those feelings, you may notice that your expression of the poses are going to be different from side to side. Depending on what it is that side of the body needs, you may have a more restorative approach like I do, with bringing the ground out closer to me. Or if this is your stronger side of the body, you may have a more active approach, removing all the props and really twisting towards that side. I know that either way is fine, or any variation in between is okay. Just take your time to really internalize your awareness. Bring the mind to the joints, the muscles, the torso, the shoulder, and take a moment to understand how they feel physically and energetically. And take your shifts, your adjustments, before you find the stillness, making this side unique. At any point you want to work towards a new edge, maybe taking this pose a little bit deeper, feel free to do so. And the same, if you want to take it more restorative, feel free to do so as well. Take a deep inhale, letting it out. Bring ourselves onto the back, knees in the sky, straighten out that spine. Take a breath here, maybe windshield wiper those knees from side to side. We're moving into Sphinx pose. So we're going to roll onto our bellies. Working the elbows underneath the shoulders, maybe a little bit before. Fingers are spread, pushing to the mat. If the hips are tight, we'll bring our feet as wide as the mat. Start to work them nice together. Now in Sphinx, you can be high. Bring the torso forward, nice stoic neck. Or it may feel good to kind of slump. Maybe drop that head down. There's also a bunch of different things you can do with the bolsters here, depending on how the chest feels. It may feel good to bring it underneath, giving that support, allowing the chest to rest on your bolster or blanket. Or if you want to give the neck a little bit of relax, it may feel good to use the block and bring the forehead down, Either option is okay. We'll be here for a few more moments. So maybe take this time to play around with some of the props, see what it is you like, or remove them completely. Nice, steady breaths. Take a nice deep inhale. Letting it go. We'll be moving into child's pose, so we push the torso up. Bring those knees wide as you push the booty towards the heels, extending the torso nice and long, and bringing the forehead to the mat. If the knees feel sore, you can bring your bolster to the back of the legs, giving you some height. You can also bring it underneath. There's actually a lot of different ways you can do your child's pose. And if you want to know more, you can check out some of my how-to videos. But find a child's pose that feels good for you. Let the forehead ground down to the mat. Staying with those steady breaths. Take your deep inhale, letting it go. So we bring the body back up. And we're moving into square pose. So with square, we may want to have some blankets, but definitely both our blocks. We're going to start by coming into our easy seat. Bring the left leg down. Flex the foot so you can line up the ankle with the knee. Then work on bringing this right foot on top of the left knee and then driving this right knee down towards the left ankle. We're working on getting those ankles and shins in a nice straight line. And over time, this knee will touch. But for now, I'm bringing a block underneath to help give me support as I bring the hand to the ankle and to the knee. Taking a deep inhale here. And then exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Roll the right ear to right shoulder. The neck down and back. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin the chest. Let's do one more rotation in this direction. And then the chin's back at the chest. Drop those shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale. Letting it out. Bring that neck up to neutral. Now, if we're comfortable here, we can start to come into the fold, which would be bringing the arms up high and exhale, moving into a forward fold. If this is a little too strenuous, you're more than welcome to come into half square, which would be keeping the leg straight and knee on the block. Think about where you want to be as we shift to the opposite side. To do so, we're going to first take a little windshield wiper in those knees. We can either take the half square by extending the right leg, bringing the left ankle on top of that knee, working the block underneath. Or we can come into full square on this side by lining up that ankle with the knee and working on bringing this knee down to the ankle. Now this side's a little bit easier for me, so I'm not going to use the prop. But either way, wherever we're at, bring the hands to the ankle and the knee. Drop those shoulders and bring the chin to the chest. Roll the left ear to left shoulder. The neck down and back. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin the chest. Let's do one more rotation. And the chin's back at the chest. Drop those shoulders. Take a deep breath. Move yourself to the neutral neck. And again, you can stay in stillness, or you can invite the fold by bringing those arms up and exhale, hinging forward, bringing those hands to the ground, and eventually working that chest down onto the shins. For me, that's a little too strenuous, so I'm just going to stay here nice and high and working on allowing gravity to bring this knee down to the ankle. Staying steady with the breath. Nice calm inhales and calm exhales. If this ever starts to be too much, move into that half square. Almost done. Stay with your breath. a nice deep inhale. Let it out. Bring both those legs nice and wide. Take a few moments just to take some rotations as you bring the toes in and out. Getting mobility back into those hips, releasing any tension that we built up. And we're coming into toe stretch. So what we want to do is come onto those knees, tuck those toes, and bring the booty towards the heel. Now this may be tight, so you may want to bring the little pinky toe along with the ride, maybe add some extra cushion. Sometimes it feels good to bring a blanket or the bolsters behind the knees. Just taking a nice breath here. If you want to do some extra shoulder work, you can bring the hands behind the back, interlace those fingers as you pull them away from you, tucking that chin into the chest. Taking a good breath wherever you're at. We're not holding this long. And as we release, we come into ankle stretch. If you have sensitive feet, I recommend grabbing your blanket or doubling up your mat. But we're going to bring the booty towards the heels, feet are flat. Hands come behind us as we take a soft lean back. This may be intense enough, but if you want to work a deeper stretch, put a soft bend in those elbows as you bring those knees to the sky, stretching out the tops of the ankles. Again, this isn't a long hold, just enough to give our feet a little bit of life. At any point, you can drop those knees down, maybe come a little bit higher. It feels good. You can come onto the forearms, bringing those knees up. Or if the feet are super sensitive, just work in finding comfort and stability right here. Yin is your practice, so take the poses only where you need to be. We're going to be moving into our Shavasana. So wherever you're at, slowly start to come onto the back, taking any props, any coverings that you may like. As you work yourself down into that final rest. Maybe bring the feet as wide as the mat so the hips can release. Palms face up if you want a sense of inviting. Bring the palms down if you want to ground. And take a few rounds of deep diaphragmatic breaths here. Full inhales. Deep exhales. Do 3 to 4 rounds of that to soften the body and the face. And then allow yourself to drift off into the stillness, into your final resting pose. slowly start to bring some movements back into the fingers and toes. Start to bring the awareness to the breath. And just take a moment to notice the natural and effortless inhale and exhale. The harmony that the breath and body have. Think about how you can bring that harmony into the rest of your day. With the eyes still closed, you'll pull those knees into the chest, pulling those shins nice and tight so that lower lumbar can lift. And when you're ready for your exhale, you surrender over to one side, sealing your practice in the fetal position. And take a moment to honor yourself where you are here and now, and invite yourself to be loved for just that. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Let it go. Keeping the eyes closed, you'll work your way up to a nice, easy seat. Bringing those hands to heart center and a soft bow in the head. The light in me honors and respects the same divine light in each of you and all that we think, do, and say. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I hope you liked this. Any questions, any comments, please put it below. If you have any requests, just let me know. Bye.